Hello. Well, I just finished recording this video, okay, and I just wanted to show you the final result of this tutorial, okay, tutorial number 6 about Mario Run app. So we have now here an horizontal arrangement with two labels, okay, one label for the current distance and one label for the high score. So I'm going to show you how to save a score or record in a TinyDB. Okay, so that means that even if that you reset your app or close your app, so when you start again, okay, you will save your you will have your high score. Okay, so you won't lose your high score. So well, that is for this tutorial. So let's start with the tutorial. Hello, my name is Eduardo and today I am here with another tutorial for App Inventor, and today we are going to continue with the Mario app. Okay, well, if you remember, if you have checked all the previous videos, okay, now we are in this part, okay, where we have Mario running, okay, and well, I recommend you watch the previous videos, okay, so we have a playlist, okay, visit this playlist and you can find some interesting information about this game if you haven't seen any of the previous videos. Okay, so please check the playlist for this Mario Run and Jump app. Okay, so I will give this I will leave this playlist in the description just for you to check it if you haven't. Okay, so now we are going to continue with part number 6. Well, if you remember, we have this button. Okay, so just let's drag it here. We have an enemy, and every time we touch the enemy, so the game ends. Well, you have to be very accurate. So now this, and then we just continue and continue and continue and continue. So we have a jumping sound that I added. Oh, sometimes collisions. Jump. I'm pretty slow. Well, the idea for today, it is to continue and to add a score label, I guess. So well, that's for today. Okay, so for that I just save a new file, and this is the running jumping tutorial February 24. If you wanna have this kind of source files, please check my page. Anyway, so let's start. I just started with something. Okay, if you check here, we have all of this beautiful screen. So we are going to add an horizontal arrangement. Yes, this horizontal arrangement, number 1, it is for the score. Okay, horizontal arrangement for the score. So we can rename this to horizontal arrangement score. That's it. So I add this horizontal arrangement, and inside this horizontal arrangement I add a label. Well, they are not visible because I just hide it, and if you I just hide it and might make this thing visible. We have this. If you check in the blocks, okay, so check, we have this horizontal arrangement from the layout, horizontal arrangement, and then I just add a label. So here the label, and the label I rename it to as a record label. So I have it in here with a font in 10, so I don't want to have something really huge. Then in the initial procedure, I just add the horizontal arrangement and change its color to the same color as in the canvas. So I am using the same color. Okay. Also, for the width, I just set it to fill parent in the designer for the horizontal arrangement for the width, and for the height, well, I don't know. I just set it here. We have a block that it says %, so I just use this directly instead of this one, and I set it to 7% of the height of the screen, and then we have this beautiful score. Okay, well, now if you remember, I have here something that it's like having the points or the distance that Mario is like running. Okay, so we are going to use this for the Highscore. So also, if we are going to use a score, we're going to add here where we have to go to storage, and we're going to drag a TinyDB component. So we're going to store these files. So let's see if we can do this thing. For the first thing, in the initialize, let's check for the TinyDB, and we're going to store a value over here. So let's create a procedure, and we're going to call it load. We're going to load score. So in this case, load Highscore. So if we have a score, a Highscore or a record or something, and the tag will be, let's call it Highscore. This is the name of this label. Just remember the name, and the value to store will be something from here. Well, we're not going to store it. Okay, we're going to load it. Sorry. My mistake. Check get value. We're going to get this value. So, and we're going to get this value, and we're going to insert it in the record label. So here, the record label text. We're going to set to this tag. If we don't have this tag, we're going to set a default value for this one. So let's say that someone has this record of 50. I guess that's okay, because when we run here, well, we have meters. Okay, 50 meters. Well, no problem. I guess that's okay. We're going to fix that in the label. Well, so when we load this procedure, we're going to check if we have this value, okay, in this Highscore label. Okay, if we play this for the first time and we don't have any value or this tag, we are going to set the default value to 50. Now we're going to use here a condition. By the way, you have if you want to know more about conditions, please check my video about conditions, okay, that I just did some days ago. Well, anyway, so we are going to create here this, okay. So check. We are going to check if we have a value over there. So, and we're going to call tiny. So in that case, we are going to get this if, and we're going to set it, and we're going to use because this is just the value here, we're going to check TinyDB get tags or whatever. So if this is for example, if get value tag Highscore, in this case let's set it to, you know what, we're going to load this value and we're going to set it to 0. If we don't have any tag, we're going to set this value to 0. Okay, if we call tag Highscore equals to 0, so that means that we don't have anything, we're going to set the record label to the record label to 50. Sorry, so excuse my mistakes in English. Okay, so to 50. So that is the idea. If we have an empty thing, we get an empty tag for the TinyDB. Else, so if it's not empty, okay, if it's not like 0, so we are going to set this friend to this thing. That's it. Okay, we're going to set it to the tag Highscore, and hopefully that it will be the value. So this is just like loading the Highscore, and we're going to load this Highscore procedure at the beginning of our app. So we go here to procedures, and we go and we load this tag that it's called load Highscore. We drag it over there, and that's it. Now what happens when we start the game? When we play, we have all of these procedures running. So loading clock, and then we need to find the one that it's like counting the meters. So I guess we have it over here. So that happens sometimes. Gravity, global ground. So just give me a second. So just let's shrink this thing, zoom out. Global Mario, these are the frames. We have canvas, start game. Well, we have to check start game. Maybe in the start game I just insert it. Jumping clock, enemy sprite. Animation, no. Start game, sorry. Well, we have this here in the start game. Loading clock, touch, enemy clock, minus sprite. This is just for the shell platform. I guess I need to see more. Now we have a bunch of blocks. Loading time. Sorry if it's not clear, just let me find my blocks. I'm not sure where I just put these things. This is jumping. Minus 60. Screen title, global distance, it's in here. So now, instead of the screen title, we're gonna use the not the record label. So in this case, the record label, it is just for the Highscore, but we can use it for the, we need to drag another label. So maybe here this label, it will be like in here, and we are going to set it to 9, and I guess that's okay with this one. It's on the left. Then we are going to insert this image just to give some space between the two texts. So what about if we set it to, let's see, what about just 5% of the width? And for this text, we're going to set the name to distance. And we'll set it to bold. Distance. And now check, we didn't have anything, and we now have 50 for the Highscore. So, but well, here we have these two. So little by little. So we are going to use this label that we're going to rename the name to, and we're going to call it current current score label, and the current score label, it will have this value from the distance. So the text, sorry for this is small, I know, but sometimes it's quite hard to find. So we are going to set it over there, and maybe we're going to have something. Let's see. Well, we have the distance over there, but we need to add here an extra slot for distance text. So let's rename this to distance, and that's it. So we have the distance over there, and then we have the distance again to 0. Now we have the distance. We need to do something extra here. Let's go here up, and remember when we load the procedures, the Highscore, we need to do well, we're going to set it here, but we're going to join this to Highscore. We're going to call it Highscore, actually the same name as the tag, and we're going to give here 2 spaces, and we're going to have the Highscore. Okay, well, now when we have this thing, well, we're going to refresh the screen right now just to load this thing for, and now let's see what we have. So we press in here, we don't have that thing because it was like quite empty. So we need to check here the same, we need to do the same to join, and we're going to join this thing here and here. We're going to do it. Well, I guess it's quite done. We have Highscore over there. Now we just play here, and let's see what happens. We close this ad, and that's it. Now we need to save this score. So your distance, I like more the word your distance, but well. So now we need to check the game over procedure. So we have game over. Now because we want to store the game over, the points, if we get more than and the current Highscore. So that's basically the idea. Here we're going to call this, we're going to insert here a condition in the game over. If, so we're going to check if this distance, let me check which is the variable, if global distance, so let's say equals, if global distance it is bigger or more than the current Highscore. I'm not sure if I am saving this Highscore thing, and maybe, oh sorry, we need to do something extra here. So check, we set this to the Highscore, and we're going to create a variable called Highscore, and we're going to set this at the beginning to 0, and we're going to add this when we check the value. We're going to check this to the record label, or to this one, Okay, we're going to set it, duplicate here. If this is empty, we're going to set it to 50. Else set global label to this one. In the case that is not empty, we're going to set it to the current Highscore. So now we just have the number over there, okay, from the TinyDB. Now we go here to the game over. Game over, game over, game over. I guess it was here. Yes, game over. So we're going to check here a condition. If the global distance it is more than the new variable that is what is the name, Highscore. So let's check which is the value of this one. Well, global distance right now is 0 because it's over. So, and then we have this one, Highscore 0. So we're going to save this file and we're going to go to TinyDB and we're going to store the tag. The tag is, which is the tag? Sorry. Yeah, Highscore is the tag. Highscore. So we go here. The tag Highscore. Highscore. And the value to store, it is the global distance, maybe like that. And I guess that 50 is too much. We're going to refresh the screen. And we're gonna run. And that's it, we have this. But we have to go in here and we're going to insert this procedure. We're going to create like a procedure. I'm going to check save Highscore, and this is the procedure to save the Highscore. If this is bigger than that, value to store, and that's it. We're going to store this value. Okay, well, we go here and save Highscore before everything in here. So now maybe we go here and just make sure the default value, it can be like 20. Maybe that's not a big Highscore, or 15, I guess. That would be better. Okay. Now we refresh the screen one more time. And I guess in that way we can save the score. Well, let's try. We just try. Oh, come on. Well, then let's die in this one. Now we have the new Highscore. Let's see what happens. Excellent. So and that way we say the Highscore. Let's refresh the screen to check if changes are done over here. So it's going to check. Oops. So let's open again companion. Let's reset the connection. Companion DB JL KR maybe. And with that thing we can save a Highscore, just a Highscore or a record. So basically the idea is just to drag a TinyDB component, create some variables and make some conditions. And if you check, we have the Highscore, even though we have reset the app or close the app and open the app again. Okay, so basically that is the idea. So and then we just play and we have this kind of running thing. And well, I guess that's all for today, okay, for this tutorial about this Mario Run app. I hope you like it, and I will see you next time. Please check or visit my Patreon page or my Facebook page if you want to have more information about these tutorials, and also check the previous videos about this. Okay, and I am also making some videos for beginners. Okay, the first one was about making procedures in App Inventor, and the second one it was about using conditions in App Inventor. Okay, so I will see you next time. My name is Eduardo. Thank you very much.